Hi everybody, welcome to another Storytime Friday. Today's story is titled Larry Gets Lost in Washington, D.C. So get ready to travel to the United States, to the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. Are you ready? I hope so. Hi everybody, welcome to another Storytime Friday. Like I mentioned, today's story is titled Larry Gets Lost in Washington, D.C. But I have a friend who wants to say hi first. Here he is. His name is Chester, and he's my pet, and I love him dearly. Do you guys have a pet at home? Yes, maybe no. Maybe it's a dog, or maybe it's a cat, or a bird, or a fish. Well, my pet is Chester. He's a dog. He's a Chihuahua, and I love him very much. And you'll see in a second why I wanted him to say hi. All right, bye. So like I mentioned, this is Larry Gets Lost in Washington, D.C. It's illustrated by John Skewes, and it's written by John Skewes and Andrew Fox. I hope you enjoy our little trip to Washington, D.C. from the commodities of our home. Grab your glasses, your sunglasses, your passport, because today we're traveling to Washington, D.C. All right, this is Larry. This is Pete. I'll show you who Larry is. The dog, and this is Pete. They love watching the world as they share the back seat. What an adventure today's trip would be. America's capital, Washington, D.C. They roll down the freeway, a big belt, they say, filled with folks who work hard for the nation each day. They stopped for a moment where stones painted white stood proud, still and silent like stars in the night. So much to see here and so much to learn. But now Larry's stomach was starting to churn. Urgh. And so, as they got out to walk for a spell, Larry chased after a fabulous smell. He slurped and he chomped the treat that he found. But when he looked up, here's Larry. Here's Larry. What do you think happened? Pete was nowhere to be found. So now Larry was lost. He looked left and right. He looked far and behind. If Pete wasn't here, he would have to go find him. Some man who might help him came into his view, but they were just statues. He looked someplace new. Such a big fancy yard with a house painted white. Would he find his friend here? Larry hoped that he might. He checked with the dog as it strolled the front lawn. No, he hadn't seen Pete. It was time to move on. Larry circled the park. He searched high and low with no sign of Pete. Where should he go? He ran up some steps and then through a front door. Had Pete gone inside? Larry wasn't quite sure. He saw whales and elephants, beasts of all kind, but not the one boy Larry wanted to find. These papers looked special. But what did they say? With no time to wonder, he went on his way. Airplanes and rockets that soar through the sky. Would Pete and his family be somewhere nearby? So he found himself now at the National Air and Space Museum. Larry stopped at a flag, resting tattered and proud. There were no parents and kids. There were parents and kids, but no Pete in the crowd. So he was now at the American Museum, National Museum, of the National Museum of American History. He ran back outside, where he spied a big dome. Could this be where Larry would find his way home? And this would be the U.S. Capitol, where senators and representatives work. The building was bigger inside than out. His journey soon led to an underground route. Up sidewalks and stairs ran that little dog Larry, then in through the doors. Could Pete be there? To a giant's library. A dog wasn't welcome in this quiet place. They scolded and shushed him, then started to chase. A pleasant librarian picked Larry up. Now, what shall we do with this lost little pup? He was now at the Library of Congress. She took him outside, where he wouldn't disturb, and told him to sit at the edge of the curb. She looked at his collar and pulled out her phone. It seemed as if Larry would soon be back home. The moment they heard the librarian's voice, Pete and his parents began to rejoice. And here you can see Martin Luther King Jr.'s monument and the Supreme Court of the United States. The boy and his dog couldn't be more delighted. At last, Pete and Larry had been reunited. Here at the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. They fell fast asleep as their car drove away. It had been an exciting, adventurous day. Strolling through Washington, D.C. and all the monuments. I hope you enjoyed this little trip to Washington, D.C. from the commodities of your home. And I'll see you next time with another story. Where will we travel? Who knows? Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Bye.